And I'm Gina Lanthripe, and it's my husband, Thad, right there. So I would like to tell you guys a little bit today about myself. And when I grew up in the area, and on my 5th birthday, my parents did something very special for me. And it's actually served as something that I've looked back over through the years to really gauge if I'm choosing to become the person that I really need to be. So that's what I'd like to use in sharing with you about who I am. The thing that they did was they made an acrostic with my name and put a quality with each letter for something that they saw, growing in me at 5 years old. But they also saw that I could choose to become if I made, good choices as I grew up. So the first, and I actually have the little acrostic that they used when I was 5, and it was just special enough to me to keep it. So the first letter, and my name is G, and might be a little cheesy, but it was G, and the word that they used was gentle. And of course, as a 5-year-old, and I had 2 siblings, one older, one younger, there were many chances for paroxysms, and the word gentle really helped me choose to treat them rightly. And as I've grown up and now have my sister in the area and my parents in the area, I really enjoy spending time with them because we've been able to have good relationships, and their encouragement to be gentle has meant that now one of the things that I like to do is spend time with my family. And the second letter after G for gentle was I for industrious, and they had to explain that word to me, but it was hardworking. And at the time, I remember it somehow related to folding towels and laundry. But now, as I got older and went through high school, like Joey said, I wasn't the actual real governor of Texas, but I set some goals to accomplish and knew that I would need to be industrious in accomplishing them. And one of them was to run for this elected office at a high school convention across the state of Texas. So that was the governor thing. But through using the encouragement when I was little to be industrious, I was able to really be involved in a lot of things in high school and accomplish my goals. And now one of the things that I like to do is just really be involved where I'm at. So I'm a part of Hope Church and really like just being involved in what they're doing there and working hard to make things happen. So after G for gentle and I for industrious, the next letter was N, and that was for noble. And it sounds kind of like a funny word, but they explained that it meant making good choices, making really excellent choices. And I remember they gave me a gift for this letter to help me remember, and the gift was one of those dress-up wedding dresses. And they talked about how if you make good choices, then you'll pick someone who will make good choices too, and that will really bless your life, if you're with someone who's doing the right thing. And so Thad and I actually by that birthday had already met, though neither of us really remember it, of course, but he spent most of his time growing up in California, and like I said, I was here. So it's only in high school we went on a couple dates, and it was long distance, obviously, with him in California, so it didn't work out. But I remember thinking that he was someone who made really good choices. And at the very end of college, we started dating again and, of course, got married. And so the early encouragement to make good choices and look for someone who made good choices has really blessed my life now. And so we had G for gentle, I for industrious, N for noble, and the last one was A for accurate. And I've been out of college a couple years now, and now I'm working at QBI and really enjoy that. But as everyone here would know, being able to flourish at a job and even just keep a job, means that you're going to need to be honest. And I've really loved working at QBI and hope to continue working there a long time. But the encouragement to be accurate and honest has helped me be able to now, as I'm out of college, really enjoy this part of life too. So, and those 4 letters, those are just things that I like to do, and the early encouragement to go ahead and choose to be someone that pursues those was really helpful and has really kind of set the tone for things that I do now with my life. So thank you very much. That's a little bit about me. And Have a good day.
Very good speech, Gina. Our next speaker is going to be Melissa McWilliams. She'll be speaking 5 minutes on a speech entitled Seasons of Life.
Good morning.
Good morning.
A daily routine or a daily schedule, it can change overnight. If all goes as planned, which it probably won't, on April 29th, 2010, I'm just as I am now, a young married. We travel a lot. We have a good social life, and I'm an attorney. I work. My job is challenging sometimes. But then on April 30th, if it goes as planned, I'll be all of a sudden a suburban stay-at-home mom, which is, I don't think I quite have my mind wrapped around all of it yet. But when I think about just the seasons of life and where my life has been the last couple of years and where my life is going, it just makes me think about just seasons and just the changes of life. So this last year, I've thought about like how life is as a young married and then how life will be once I'm staying home with the baby. And first of all, I thought about like just housework, stuff around the house. When Dustin's, like he is now, working 70 plus hours a week, I take on a lot of the house responsibility, and that's totally fine. I think that's fair. But whenever when he's working normal hours, which is the better part of the year, then it's more 50-50. But and I've always said, but if I'm going to stay at home, I don't think a man should work all day and then come home and do the laundry. And I'm like, what did I say? So I don't think it'll be quite 50-50, and I have no doubt he's not going to come home and sit on the couch, but I know he'll help me. But it's no longer going to be 50-50 like it has been. It's going to be more the primary responsibility of the house and the food and all that will be on me, which is just so different from my life has been. I'm, be 30 something when this baby's born, and work also that will be very different now. I have challenges at work. Sometimes it's busy. It's a very mental type job. You don't have to think about things, and then going to a job. Well, and I think a baby is way more important than any job, but just going to the daily routine of taking care of a baby and not thinking about stuff like I have before. And I will miss, just the little challenges of work. For example, one time I had a deadline. I had to get all my documents to the judge and the opposing party, and I had to have it FedExed that day. And the last FedEx pickup downtown is 6:30. So I found another one that was 8 o'clock, and so I mean, these documents, just voluminous, and it takes a lot of time to put documents together. And since I'm a federal employee, I don't have good administrative help. So a lot of that falls on me. And so I was stressing out. If your documents aren't there, that just doesn't go into evidence. And that would be my job. So I called Dustin coming up to work to help me put all my documents together. And so things like that have been fun. Just little memories we've made with him in my conference room after hours, putting work together, so it'll be a distant memory soon. And traveling, that's been another huge thing that we've had this last year. I think a year ago we went to New York City. It was about a year ago. Went to New York City by ourselves. And then in the spring we went to Colorado snow skiing with some other couples. And then in the summer we went to San Francisco and ran a marathon with some friends and his parents. And then we've been to China on a mission trip. And then I went to Egypt and Israel just recently with my parents. So we've gotten to do a lot of travel. But one thing I've noticed I lived in Spain for 6 months when I was in college. And I always just loved the idea of living somewhere else and, traveling and living abroad. And now, especially as I think about this baby coming, I have no desire to live anywhere but here. I love here, and that's a huge change from probably where I was 10 years ago. But we have a great church, and we're really involved, and our family is both here. Our parents both live within. They're both really close, and I know when the baby comes, I'll always be at my mother or my mother-in-law's, and huge blessing because I love my in-laws. And so that's a huge change in this whole transition of just, even though I've traveled all over, just knowing I have no desire to leave Fort Worth, and we live in north of here. So coming up though with the baby, just I was thinking of paroxysms. just the baby's paroxysm and dealing with that, and the transition right now of I'm able to like sneak off during lunch a lot, and I'll go take naps because I'm so tired all the time, and just that whole change, it'll be just amazing. One good thing about, though, even though Dustin's working a lot now, is when the baby comes, he'll get 2 weeks off, and then for 8 weeks he's going to work 3 days a week. So he will get tons of time at home, which is just amazing. And whenever I think about, though, also just the seasons of life, thinking about, you know, I know a lot of times it's really easy to be like, oh, I can't wait to get married. Oh, I can't wait to get pregnant. I can't wait till this baby gets out of diapers. And this morning I was getting ready and thinking about what I would say this morning. And Dustin, I looked in our bedroom, and he was in there just on his knees praying. And I just thought, it's going to be good.